Okay, let's continue reading from the Miracles of Muhammad, peace be upon him. The book that we are reading is the letters from Risale-i Nur Collection, and the author of this book is Bediuzzaman Said Nursi. Bediuzzaman Said Nursi is an Islamic scholar from Turkey. We are reading from the 9th sign, and this 9th sign is about the trees which obeyed the orders of Prophet Muhammad. The point that we have left last time was the end of 3rd example. There are 8 examples here. Let's continue. 4th example. Usame bin Zaid, one of the brave commanders and servants of the noble messenger, peace be upon him, reports in an authentic narration. We were together with God's messenger on an expedition. There was no secluded private place in which to answer the call of nature. He asked, "Can you see any trees or rocks?" I replied, "Yes, I can." He ordered, "Speak to them and tell them to join together for the relief of God's messenger. Also, tell the rocks to gather together as a wall." I went and said as he commanded, "I swear that the trees joined together and the rocks formed a wall." God's messenger, peace be upon him, after relieving himself, again commanded, "Tell them to separate." I swear by the glorious one, in the grasp of whose power I am, that the trees and rocks separated and returned to their places. These 2 incidents, which were reported by Jabir and Usame, were also reported by Yale bin Murra, Gaylan bin Seleme al-Thaqafi, and Ibn Masud, but as referring to the Battle of Hunayn. 5th example. Reported by Imam bin Fawrik, known for his excellence in interpretation as the foremost scholar of his time and the second Shafi. While traveling on horseback one night during the Taif expedition, sleep overcame God's noble messenger, peace be upon him. While in that state, a lote tree loomed up before him. To make way for him and not to hurt his horse, the tree split in 2, and the noble messenger, peace be upon him, passed between the 2 parts of the tree on the horse. The tree has remained with 2 trunks in that honored position up to our time. So while traveling on horseback at night, since the Prophet is asleep, the tree pays attention to him and not uncomfort him. Actually splits in 2 and makes way for him. This is an amazing miracle actually, right? 6th example. Yale bin Murra relates in an authentic narration, during an expedition, a tree called either Talha or Samura came past around God's messenger, peace be upon him, as if circumambulating, and went back to its place. God's messenger said, "The tree requested of God that it should salute me." You know, the Muslims moving around Kaaba a number of times, you know, when they are praying. In a similar way, this tree has come to the Prophet and moved around him a number of times. You know, this is a way of prayer actually, right? And the tree is doing that. Very interesting. 7th example. Scholars of Hadith relate from Ibn Masud with an authentic narration. When seeking guidance, the jinn of Nusaybin came to the noble messenger, peace be upon him, in the place called Batn al-Nakhl. A tree informed him of their coming. Also, Imam Mujahid relates from Ibn Masud in the same hadith. The jinn asked for a proof of his prophethood. So the noble messenger, peace be upon him, commanded the tree, and it left its place, came to him, then returned to its place. That single miracle was sufficient for the race of jinns. So if a human being does not come to believe having heard of 1,000 miracles like this one, is he not more of a devil than those described by the jinn as some foolish ones among us has been saying about Allah an excessive transgression? This is from chapter 72, verse number 4. The Surah Al-Jinn, the chapter is named as Jinn actually. This is a verse from Quran. Let me read this last sentence again. So if a human being does not come to believe having heard of 1,000 miracles like this one, is he not more of a devil than those described by the jinn as some foolish ones among us has been saying about Allah an excessive transgression? 8 examples. Tirmizi reports in his Sahih from Ibn Abbas through a sound line of transmission. God's noble messenger, peace be upon him, asked a Bedouin, "Will you testify that I am the messenger of God if a branch of that tree comes to me when I call to it?" He replied, "Yes." The messenger, peace be upon him, called to the branch. It broke off and jumped over near him and then jumped back when he told to it to do so. So this is the 8 examples. There are many other examples similar to these 8 that are narrated through many chains of transmission. 7 or 8 strands of rope form a strong cable when they are put together. Similarly, the miracles related to trees, which were reported on the authority of the best known and most veracious companions in such numerous chains of transmission, certainly have the strength of consensus in meaning, indeed true consensus. In fact, they take on the form of consensus when passed down by the companions to the following generation. In particular, the accurate books of hadith such as Bukhari, Muslim, Ibn Hibban and Tirmizi ensure that the chains of authorities leading back to the time of the companions were so sound and they kept them thus that reading a hadith, say in Bukhari, is like hearing it directly from the companions. If, as seen in the above examples, trees recognize God's messenger, peace be upon him, testify to his prophethood, visit and salute him, and obey his orders, aren't those lifeless, unreasoning creatures who call themselves human beings, yet do not recognize him or believe in him, more worthless than a dead tree? Do they not resemble pieces of wood fit for the fire? So after listening to these examples, a human being is supposed to believe in Prophet of Muhammad, right? We will stop at this point. We have finalized this 9th sign. We will continue reading the 10th sign in the following weeks. Subhaneke la ilme lena illa ma allamtena inneke entel alimul hakim ve akhiru davahum enilhamdülillahi rabbil alamin. El Fatiha.